Everyone thinks a 200W solar panel is a 200W solar panel, but here's the thing. This one can behave like a 260W panel in the right setup, and like a 150W panel if you get one detail wrong. Wait, how can the same panel be both overachiever and underperformer? Because the BougeRV 200W solar panel kit isn't a typical panel. It's N-type, 16 busbar and bifacial. Translation: it can harvest light from the front and the back, but only if you give it the conditions to do that. I spent 2 weeks testing it across 3 locations with watt meters and MPPT controller and real RV use. What I found flipped my expectations. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick heads up, if you're already convinced and want the best price, I've got the link below. It's been hovering around 144.99 with a 4.4-star rating, but stick around, because the setup tricks I learned will save you real watts. Look, here's the deal. I've been burned by 200W panels before. Big claims, weak results. I boondock a lot. Fridge, lights, laptop, and lately, Starlink. My old 200W P-type panel would barely crack 150W flat on my RV roof. Sunny Arizona, high noon, still underwhelming. I needed a compact panel that didn't eat up my roof, and I didn't want to cut a new vent just to squeeze bigger glass up there. BougeRV's pitch hit all the right nerves. N-type cells with higher efficiency, bifacial backside for extra gain, smaller footprint. BougeRV says about 26% less roof coverage for the same rated output and a claimed longer service life. Skeptical? Absolutely. Hopeful? Also yes. First test, pure output, cool morning, clear sky. I put the BougeRV panel on a tilting mount in my driveway over bright concrete, wired into a 40A MPPT feeding a 12V LiFePO4 bank sitting at 13.2V. Midday, slightly tilted to match sun angle, I saw a steady 188-196W on the meter, peaking just over 200W for a few minutes as clouds cleared. That alone was better than my old panel. But then I lifted the panel a few inches higher to give the backside air and reflectivity and set a white foam board a few feet behind it. Now we're talking. I saw spikes in the 214-224W range. Not every minute, not magical, but real, repeatable gains when the albedo helped the backside. But here's where it gets interesting. I then mounted it flat on my dark RV roof to simulate a quick install. Output plummeted to 150-165W under the same sun. Same panel, different results, all because the bifacial rear wasn't getting light and heat buildup was worse. Second test, surface matters. Over gravel at the campsite, I saw a modest 5-10% bump versus front only. Over grass, almost nothing extra. Over white concrete, 10-20% extra. With that foam board, up to 30% momentary peaks. Moral, bifacial isn't a gimmick, but it needs clearance and a bright surface to shine. Literally, third test, low light and heat. Early morning, hazy sky at 8 am, I compared it to my older 200W P-type panel, same controller, same battery. The BougeRV hit 30-60W. The old one lagged around 20-35W. N-type's lower light-induced degradation and better low-light response showed up. Fast forward to a 95°F afternoon on a blacktop pad. Both panels sagged from heat, but the BougeRV held 8-10% higher output than the old one. In real use, that consistency matters. Fourth test, partial shading. I ran a strip of shade across a cell row. Like most 36-cell, 3-string 12V panels, when one bypass zone got shaded, the output in that zone nosedived. The 16 busbar layout helps with current collection and microcrack resilience, but it doesn't defy bypass diode physics. Shade a string, you lose a chunk. Keep that in mind if you've got roof racks or antennas. Build check. The frame is sturdy, the backside is transparent to enable bifacial gain, and the pre-drilled holes made mounting easy. The leads are standard MC4 and long enough for a roof run with an extension. What I appreciated most was the footprint. Compared to my old 200W slab, this one genuinely took less roof space. On an RV or van, square inches are gold. BougeRV claims longer service life. Lab numbers point to roughly 5 extra years versus typical P-type, and N-type tends to resist light-induced degradation better. They also have 10-year product tech support. Just note, to cash in on the bifacial benefit, do not sandwich this panel flush to a dark roof. Give it standoff, give it airflow, and if you can, give the backside a bright surface. Here's the surprise I didn't expect. The BougeRV's biggest advantage isn't just the N-type efficiency, it's the size-to-watt ratio plus the bifacial upside. In my tests with smart mounting and a reflective environment, it routinely outpaced my old 200W by 15–25% and occasionally peaked above nameplate. That effectively gave me 20–40 extra watts during prime hours without adding another panel. That's the kind of gain that keeps a fridge cold through the afternoon and lets you top off a battery sooner. And yes, I put in the hours, 2 weeks, 3 locations, cool mornings to hot afternoons, testing with tilt, flat, reflective, and non-reflective surfaces. Compared to portable bifacial panels that cost way more per watt, this rigid panel is a killer value at around $144.99. The catch, if you mount it wrong, flat, dark roof, no clearance, you'll wonder what the hype was about as you sit at 150–165W. Too good to be true, not if you understand bifacial physics. Think of it as a 200W front panel with a bonus engine on the backside that needs air and light to run. Now that you know how to unlock the extra watts, get it while the price holds and stock's good. I've linked the best current deal below. Pair it with a quality MPPT and give it a couple inches of standoff over a light surface. Future you will thank you. Bottom line. The BougeRV 200W solar panel kit is a smart buy if you're space constrained, want higher real-world yield, and are willing to mount it for bifacial gain. RVers, vanlifers, and boaters who can give it clearance will love it. If you need an ultralight, foldable, portable, or you plan to glue it flush to a dark roof and expect a miracle, skip it. For everyone else, it's efficient, compact, and fairly priced with a 4.4-star track record. Here's what nobody tells you. It's not just a 200W panel, it's a 200W panel with upside. Use it right and it punches above its weight.